Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to an SP Reacts where today we have ourselves a track from an act named Psalmist Productions off of their album Tortured Roads titled Through the Rapids. And if we switch over to here, we have ourselves a track on the screen with the art for the album here. There are a total of 18 tracks here. I think this album was released on the February 7th, so not too long ago now. And we're going to listen through this track from start to finish and we're going to hear what we think. Through the Rapids, let's go, let's do it. It sounds pretty.
I was drifting out on my own. The world felt heavy, I felt alone. Tried to fight it, tried to stand, but the weight was more than I could withstand. I lost my way in the wild unknown, but you were there right by my side, holding me up when I wanted to hide.
I like that resolution now.
I know you've been right here through every storm that's come my way. When the waters got too deep, you held me close and kept me safe. In the rapids you pulled me through. When my raft was breaking you stayed true. And I know you were there all along. You were the calm in the storm.
There's like lots of cool response and interesting melodies there.
That pulled me under. Every doubt, every fear was like thunder. I felt like I might drown in the fight, but you reached out and you held me tight. You were the light in the darkest of nights. Through the rapids I felt you near, whispering peace, casting out all my fear. Yeah. 'Cause I know you've been right here through every storm that's come my way. When the waters got too deep, you held me close and kept me safe. In the rapids you pulled me through. When my raft was breaking you stayed true. And I know you were there all along. You're the calm in the storm.
It kind of sounds like we're pushing it a little bit in the limiter. There's a little bit of a kind of a hum there, but still, you know, that could be a stylistic decision as well.
Now I'm standing on solid ground. The storm is past, the water's calmed down. I've learned to trust and believe that your love is all I'll ever need. I know that no matter how wild it gets, you're the anchor that keeps me set. And I'll never fear when the storm comes again. You've been with me every step of the way.
No, it's very competent.
Chaos, you've never turned away. When I'm sinking, you pull me to the shore. With you by my side, I'm never lost anymore. 'Cause I know you've been right here through every storm that's come my way. When the waters got too deep, you held me close and kept me safe. In the rapids, you pulled me.
That little bit of sound design where it goes to the side that was really cool as well.
And I know you were there all along. You're the calm in the storm. You're the calm in the storm. You're the calm in the storm. You're the calm in the storm.
And back to that motif there, very comfortable with that. That was a nice resolution at the end there. Okay, so I feel like this is quite a positive first impression of Psalmist Productions. Because welcome to the conclusion of my review of this track from an act named Psalmist Productions, my listen through of this track titled Through the Rapids off of the Tortured Roads album there. I think that it's about someone who is thankful for, I assume to be their faith, for God or whoever are sort of like looking to up to for their love and for their support through the difficulties that they've had. that support, that belief, that security and stability within. I appreciate that. I think that's something that a lot of people, especially people who are sort of religious, spiritual, they can get behind that feeling of a higher power kind of looking over them, going through it with them. That love sort of helping to guide them and keep them. It's good. It's a beautiful thing, and so I think there will be an audience for this kind of music. And I look forward to this act finding success. It's a really well written track, I suppose. Usually in these conclusion sections for these specific videos, I talk about a few things that I really quite like about the track, as well as maybe some parts where there could be some sort of constructive sort of critique or feedback. I think the first thing that I appreciate about the song is the quality of the vocal performance there. I like the melodies and the harmonies that have interlaced through it. I like the backing vocals and how they have just a massive sound to them that goes around the stereo field there. There's a lot of warmth and it's very pretty sounding, and it's very personable. The expression is accessible and easy to listen to, and I enjoy the fact that it's very friendly sounding. It sounds like they genuinely care about what they're singing about, and the technique is good too. In addition to that, I feel like the actual structure of the track itself is really well handled there. There is lots of variety in regards to like the different chord progressions and patterns and different bass notes and how we traverse within individual sections, such as the chorus and the verses and stuff like that. I like how we don't just rely on a 4-chord set that is repeated to the point where it potentially becomes predictable. It's not that we have ourselves a progressive, constantly swirling kind of like chaotic kind of field of noise here. What I mean is that it's just nice to have like little subtle bits of variation to keep things intriguing, even if you're not necessarily going to have alternate lead melodies or things in the center field taking sort of like say taking stage over the vocalists sort of speaking their truth. So I think structurally it works well, and with the vocals on top of that, it's very neat. I think finally what I appreciate is the actual theme itself and the instruments that are chosen to represent that. So for me, there is a grace with the major scales and key signature choices here. Even if there are some minors, it's like the sound and texture of like the guitar parts there, the way the bass and the drums work together to create this really solid foundation. The sort of the synthesizer vocal chops over top, which are very kind of, they almost sound like birds or things kind of fluttering over in the sky or in the air, things kind of like going over you. It's a very beautiful kind of image that is created by the sound of these instruments and the melodies and harmonies there and dispersed and how they sort of niche together. And I think that when you look at what's being sung about, as well as the sort of the focal point and purpose of it, it makes sense that the chords and the way the instrument choices are the way they are. I feel like this track was maybe pushed a little bit in the mastering chain, like it maybe was a little bit too tight, like it could have potentially have had just a little bit more headroom in certain sections, but I also understand that there was dynamic range in part that came from the fact that we did sort of take away different instruments and it added a sense of faux dynamic range to that. I liked that we were making our best efforts to have it commercial grade in terms of the loudness there, though. I think that it wasn't to a detriment. It's just we could have potentially had it 0.5 dB quieter and just had a little bit more breathing room in some of the louder sections, just to add a little bit more of kind of like oomph to some of like the percussive elements there in the low end and stuff like that. Aside from that, very, very happy with everything else in regards to the production. I think in general, this is a fantastic, I had a good time with this track, and these are my thoughts on a song titled Through the Rapids by Psalmist Productions off of the album Tortured Roads, and hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please go check them out via the various social medias and the Spotify page, and stay cool, stay safe, and please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as need the help more than ever. Thought of crazy stuff going on in the world, and I will catch you in the next SP Reacts. Spiderhands out.